Man United podcast with Bidds and Monty. Welcome back to the Man United podcast. Just had a good episode, bro. Good episode, man.
Have a good episode, chilled one, and insight into what these guys are doing. They're doing some great thing with the podcast and some amazing advice.
Yeah, really good advice.
Still too much.
Yes, we spoke to the girls from That's the POSITIVITEA podcast. Again, they're doing some really good stuff. The guests that they have on, the advice that they give, and they also give us some real talk today. They shared with us quite personal journeys, man. Really personal journeys, and
very personal.
Yeah, and we do appreciate realism. We do. We do. Before we get in that episode, you know what you got to do. Head over to championmindsetclothing.co.uk. You've had some new products in, haven't you, brother?
Coming soon. The new products are coming soon.
Yeah, baby. New colours, different variants. Oh, yes.
We also have a code for the podcast.
Yes. Poddy 10 on discount.
Poddy 10. And just remember that you'll get 10% discount with that code. And on top of that, whatever you're spending, 5% will be going to support mental health charities.
Yes, it will. So enjoy this episode. Please subscribe, leave us a review on iTunes, drop us a comment. We always get back to you. Enjoy, you beautiful humans.
We love you.
Yo, girls, what's happening? I'm so glad you're here.
We're so glad to be here.
I know, it's exciting.
So I've invited you on because I've been following your podcast. I'm up to date as well.
Oh my God. That is good.
Up to date. So give us a little introduction of who you pair are.
You go first.
Okay, well, I'm Sinead, and we do a podcast called That's the POSITIVITEA. Together. Well, we're basically the same person, but like we just study criminal justice with offender management, and we're both the same age.
Work together. My house is there, her house is there. We are sat in the car because we don't have a studio yet, but it's coming, don't worry. And I'm Keisha, by the way. That's not it. Oh, and we work together, actually.
You just said that.
Yeah, you did. You did just say that, yeah.
That's okay.
I've been making sure you...
A positive a coffee.
Yeah, so you had a nice day out yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, it was actually good. I went to Manchester. I only got in 2 places, but like I said, like spontaneous days are always the best days, do you think?
2 is better than 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I find the planned days, something always happens that just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, when you plan things sometimes, like you build yourself up so much.
Yeah.
And even sometimes because you build yourself up so much, you end up getting there, and then it's like, is it? Yeah. Or you plan so much and then it doesn't turn out to be how you planned it.
Yeah.
You have high expectations then.
Well, we do a lot of things from spontaneous ideas, don't we? Like the podcast. I literally sat in my bedroom. I sent Nate a voice note and I was like, shall we just start a podcast? She was like, yeah. I was like, okay then. Let's do it right now.
Then we just made the page. Just went with it.
So how did you come about the name of your podcast?
Honestly, I don't know. It's just how my brain works. I don't even know. It was just in my head.
Yeah.
That's positivity. Because me and Nate always say, that's a thesis.
Yeah.
So I thought that can be the positivity sis.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so important as well. Even like for those watching and listening, it's an example as well where if something comes into your head and you want to get it done, you want to do it, it's better to just follow your plan through without overthinking it. Because the more you think about it, the more you put yourself off doing certain things. And credit to you too for like just thinking about and just cracking on with it, man.
That is true, because like I'm not the type of person to just do something, am I really?
No.
Like I'll be like, no, I won't do it actually. And then they're just like, no, we're actually gonna do it.
Like we wanted to do something together for ages, but then like nothing just come to us, and then we'd just been for a walk and had a bit of a bad day, haven't we? And then all of a sudden we were just making a podcast, and like it's a Friday night, and I'm trying to make Brat's pictures and Keisha's bloody make pictures put on there. So yeah, it's interesting.
It's good though, because I've noticed there's a lot more podcasts that have come out during like the past year with the pandemic.
Yeah.
I'm always listening to podcasts. Like that's my bedtime routine. I will go to bed and I will put a podcast on, whatever it may be. And there's so many new ones, and there's a lot more on mental health as well.
Yeah.
Which I think's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm actually struggling to catch up now with like everyone's podcast, because I've got that many on me save list. But I'm up to date with yours.
Well, we've gone down.
That's the main boy. I'm up to date with your podcast. Because Monty.
Yeah.
You were on the podcast last time, weren't you?
Yeah, I was, man.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, we enjoyed like, recording that, and
it was
very good feedback.
Yeah.
It was good, just raising a bit of awareness about a few topics.
It was good as well, because like I think a lot of people look at ours and think it's all like girly and stuff, but we tried to make it for everyone.
Well, yeah, like we try and include stuff for lads as well, and we have had 3 men on there. Like we understand that a page might be a bit girly, but still, like we cover topics that are like relevant for everyone.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing though. With a lot of people, even with a lot of things that individuals do in life, they just close themselves to just one thing, one item, one audience. When you just open yourself to a bigger audience, is a lot better as well. Because to be fair, you guys talk about all sort of things similar to what we do here, where we have a lot of conversations about sort of topics, and even like we've had people from all walks of life. Ex-Premier League players, current players, and obviously we've got you guys now. You have your own podcast as well. We've had people from America. We're going all over the world, man. And that's by opening the doors to all sort of listeners and everyone. At the end of the day, we're all humans.
Yeah, it is. It's all about connecting with people. I found that the more I connect with different people's stories, I just can join their journey, and it's amazing. It's like last week we had Matt Leach on, and I always say I don't do any research. I don't do any research or have any questions prepared, because that's just not natural to me. I much prefer. He dropped a right bombshell on us. Say, I don't know if you've listened to it, but he was Carlton Leach's son.
Yeah.
Have you seen the film Rise of the Foot Soldier?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, well, that's based on his dad.
Yeah.
And he dropped that on us last week, and I was just like gobsmacked.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
I know.
Like, I watched the film, and then I was looking at the name, and I was like, in your head, you're doing something.
Really? Like, yeah, you know.
I just couldn't link it in my brain, and then I've seen like half of that podcast, and he finished it. But
they're pretty long. But with
watch them when we're getting ready, don't we?
Yeah, we just put podcast on when I'm getting ready.
So it's routine. It's keeping routine. It's like my routine's going to bed and listening to them.
Yeah.
But with your podcast, like how have you found like finding guests? Like have they come to you, or have you been doing a bit of searching kind of thing?
To be fair, a few have started coming to us now, haven't they?
Yeah, at first we like approached a few people, and then after that, I think it's just like when you're talking to people that either listen to your podcast and like, oh well, I've got a story about this, or I can talk about that, and then you start thinking that's something that people need to hear, really.
Yeah.
So that's how we've ended up with other people coming on that we haven't approached.
Yeah. Have you had any awkward moments during them?
Not yet. We've had.
The only thing we would say, like, some So when we're recording, we record it on.
Be careful you don't name the guest here.
No. It's not anything personal about someone. Like, because we record it on there, it's like you can't see each other, so sometimes it's difficult to like know when to talk.
And we don't stop talking, so
no, we actually don't.
Yeah,
it's an issue.
I know. I've had a few awkward ones.
Have you?
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like we can't be awkward because we're just together.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't really find anything.
I found like certain guests, like our podcast, you come on and I want you to be as real as you can be. And I've found sometimes some guests have been a bit closed up, and I think it's I think it's due to them being professional. Like they might be a self-employed therapist or whatever, and they don't want to say the wrong thing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's been like smashing my head against the brick wall, trying to get some kind of realism out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. On our podcast, I always get scared of like offending people. Like, sorry if this offends anyone, but it's just my opinion.
Yeah, we always say that, like, yeah, you're entitled to your opinion. This is just my opinion on this. Just in case.
People do nitpick at everything now, though. So you have to be careful.
You don't.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that I don't really give a fuck about.
Yeah.
because like it's my opinion. And if no one agrees with it, that's fine. You know, it's not against the law to disagree with someone. But sometimes when I've been saying shit, I've seen Monty's face, and it's like, oh shit, it's like a oh shit kind of face.
That's literally so. We've recorded stuff before, and Keisha's like, you actually sound a bit like a bitch. You need to take that bit out. And I don't even mean him in that way, but my voice just sounds.
What did you say? You're on about like someone sent in a dilemma, and she was like, "What did you say?" I
said, "That's not very nice."
Yeah, she was like, "That's nasty."
Yeah. Like, no, take that out. Take it out. I was like,
but I think you can't be taking things out. Obviously,
we don't anymore, do
you? Wanna like if you want to stand out, especially when you're doing something that a lot of people are doing. The best way is just to be real. Like the way we do it with Bidds, we don't cut out nothing. It's just obviously Bidds will swear more than I do, but we don't. It's nothing against me. It's nothing against him. It's nothing against the audience. It's just who we are.
Yeah.
And it's how we actually get on, and how we get people listening and engaging and understanding, identifying themselves with the podcast and maybe with me and him.
Yeah.
We don't hide away from the truth. We don't hide away from nothing. If we've got to say something, we say it. If the guest and whoever we have on want to talk about anything, if they want to call out anyone, we don't stop them. It's on them, you get me? And then a lot of listeners, viewers would love to hear certain things.
Yeah.
The only thing we have to be careful with is I kind of talk about work a lot, so I have to take them bits out because I do get carried away. I don't want to get sacked yet.
Oh right, yeah.
We have to just rein it in.
You have to be careful. We used to edit it a lot because we were so scared of people listening to it and it being like
but no we don't.
And like going off on a tangent and just stupid stuff that we say all the time. But now, like, we literally don't edit hardly anything out, do
like
we?
with Monty's, we only had to start the bit where I said, "It's okay, we can just think what we're gonna say."
And I had to put the window up because it was literally chucking it down. I had the window down because my car was so hot. And I was like, oh yeah, we better take that out.
Yeah, that was it though.
Yeah.
I'm saying. But yeah, let's get down to it, man.
Yes, let's go.
Get down to it. So obviously you guys know we talk about mental health, but we don't really like using the mental word obviously as much because immediately people think you're crazy. But in your past, in your life, have you guys ever experienced any sort of emotional problems that have made you feel very low that you might want to share with the viewers, listeners, and how you overcame that, how you changed your mindset to whatever you was experiencing?
Do you want to go first, Mommy?
I'll go for it.
Okay.
Well, so, I mean, I didn't really talk about it on our podcast because we haven't really had the opportunity to, have we?
No.
Like, so when I was younger, my mum and dad split up, and then my mum, like, had quite bad depression. So, like, I was only 10, and I'd say, like, as a child, it's quite difficult to deal with because you almost have to, like, look after yourself, like, emotionally and stuff. So I'd say it like that's when things got difficult for me. And then what happened after that? Oh yeah, and then somebody in my family suffered quite badly with like mental health problems after my mum got better and like life had got back to normal. So I ended up with like 2 of my very young family members coming to live with me. So like I just rebuilt my relationship with my mum, and then these 2 children like come to live with me, and they were very young, so demanding a lot of attention, obviously, as a child does. So then like I was like 16, I'd say, and you sort of lose your connection again with your mum because like I've always been the youngest, and then obviously when you're the youngest, like you're the one that gets all the attention.
You're the baby.
Yeah, like, I was the baby. So then all this happened. I was with a partner that wasn't very nice, and like I'd say that was when I was like at my lowest, and that's when we become friends, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like, just
I feel like we literally went through everything together, don't we?
Oh yeah, we did.
We're soulmate best friends.
We fully are. And then after that happened, like he ended up leaving me, and I was like, oh, heartbroken, 16 years old, do you know what I mean? Like, think your world's going to end. And like, do you know, because when you're already in like a bad place, and I was like, oh God, I've got no one, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, from there, like, I think I just, like, we've said this before, I just forced myself. I was like, no, it's not the end of the world. Like, life will get better. Like, I knew how to look after myself as myself. I didn't need, like, someone to look after me, even though, like, I think I crave that. So,
like, you just depended on
other people
for so long, didn't you?
Definitely. I think it was because like things I'd been through when I was younger, and we spoke about like adverse childhood experiences, and like that could be considered an adverse childhood experience. So yeah, that's basically it. And then after that, after we started being friends, I think that like we just grew together, didn't we? Like I was a lot more negative, obviously. We spoke about
do you want to talk about that work though, because that was a big part of your experience?
Yeah, so I didn't go to university straight after college because I was in like a bad place, and I was like, oh, I don't know what I want to do with my life, blah, blah, blah. I had pressures on me to say like do a specific course, and it wasn't what I wanted to do. So I went to go and work at a 9-to-5 like salaried job at the age of like 18. I thought, oh, absolute like money in the bank, life is great, Monday to Friday. And I just absolutely hated my life. Like I used to cry on the way to work every day. I was talking to someone who used to work there, and like I just never like felt so down.
Yeah.
Because work like consumes your life, doesn't it? And then, I mean, we went on holiday. I'd like a quarter life crisis, I'd say, and then quit. I just walked in the office
on the airplane. She was crying because we didn't want to go home, and I was like, okay. And then she was like, I was like, well, what's wrong? What are you gonna do? And she's like, I'm gonna quit my job and go to uni. I was like, do it then.
So I just quit. I just handed in my notice, and I was like, didn't even know if I could get into uni, but I was like, I just don't care. I don't want to be there anymore. So yeah, but I used to be so negative, like, and I isolated myself from even like Keisha because I thought that I was putting my negativity onto other people. So like they'd ask me to go place and do stuff, I'd just say no, because I thought that I'd be that person that was like boring and negative and oh, I won't go home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I used to always say I had no money, or like, oh, I'm dead tired, I'm not feeling up to it. So yeah, and then it just all turned around when I went to uni, and I just stopped holding on to like what other people wanted me to do.
See, I can relate to the isolation thing, because I used to do that.
Yeah.
Like really bad, like from absolutely everyone.
Yeah.
I still do it occasionally now, but it's not at the levels it used to be. It's like if I'm feeling low, I'll tell my wife or whoever, Monty or whoever, I'm on a shit day, and then I'd just go bed and I'd put a podcast on. I'd just sleep it off.
Yeah.
And then the next day I'd wake up in a better mind space and then talk about why I might have been feeling shit.
Yeah.
It's all about that. I agree with the isolation. I think people should do it, but I think we spoke about it the other week. It needs to be done properly.
Yeah.
it can become so fucking dangerous if you isolate yourself without really thinking about how your mindset's going to be the day after.
Or even like being aware of why you want to isolate as well.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like for me, I used to be probably similar to Bidds and that. And since obviously I've been doing what I'm doing, I started to understand myself a bit more. And it was not long ago, obviously, we spoke about in the podcast where I got in the shower. I think it was when I tested positive for COVID.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And I got in the shower, calm, relaxed, and literally all of a sudden, all these thoughts in my mind would just go in. Like, it was crazy. There was like a race going on in my head. I didn't know what was going on. I turned off the shower, walked into the room, and literally just broke down crying to my missus. And then, to be fair, she helped me calm me down a bit, but I had to sort of figure out what was making me feel like that. And because I understand myself, I'm able to let it all out, cry now, because obviously I understand that crying, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm weak. It's actually something that gives me strength. And that's what we've got to understand. So like Bid said, if you are isolating or something's going through your head or whatever may be causing you the problem, it's good to sort of try and sometimes it's hard to pinpoint what it is. I try to be aware of the differences. So you can then say, if I isolate now and stay away from everyone, I could be back better tomorrow. Or if I speak now, I know I could then isolate and I'll be okay. A lot of people would isolate and not knowing what is going through their head or not understanding why they're feeling the way they're feeling. And you could then get deeper, and then not even anyone can actually put their hand down to help you.
I think you didn't actually realise at the time.
Oh no.
Like, I don't think you were aware of even how you were feeling. That I felt a bit useless because I couldn't help you, but
because I didn't know.
Yeah, like you didn't see it, did you?
No.
Until after.
Like, this is the thing, and I relate to what you say about like when you're in the shower and stuff like that, because when I was like in a situation where I was on my own, it's like, say I was sat downstairs with my mum or I'm with my partner's family, whatever else, like I used to just put on a happy face and like you had to. But then when you're by yourself, like you think about everything. And I used to sleep so much, like I'd get in from work and go to sleep until like the next day, and I'd sleep so much because like why I didn't want to be like awake and thinking about things, so I used to sleep loads.
No, you don't.
I mean,
before we move on to obviously Keisha answering the same sort of question, I want to go back to Sinead when you said obviously the reason why you decided to work was due to the pressure you felt, was being told what sort of course you had to take. How was it? Straight after you left school? Was it straight after? And did you feel that by working it was going to ease down the pressure?
Yeah, so somebody like around me, I wanted to study criminal justice or offender management. Like, I knew that's what I wanted to do because I went to an open day with Keisha because she was too anxious to go by herself. And I was like, that's a bit of me. Like, I want to learn about that. But then people around me had always expected me to study international business. Like,
because of money.
Yeah, because of money. And like, I'd done it at like school, college, blah, blah, blah. I'd always been good at it. I knew that I didn't want to do that. Like, I knew that it would be so boring. It would just make me unhappy. So instead of doing what I wanted to do, I decided not to do it at all. So I just didn't go to uni. And then the pressure then turned from like doing a course that I didn't want to do to getting a job that I didn't want to have, because I was working in a job that was classed as like unskilled. So people were like, you can't work there forever, like you need to look for another job, it's not secure, blah, 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 it's seasonal. And I was like, but I'm happy. But then the pressure become like a bit too much. Then I was like, oh, maybe I do need to do something with my life, like maybe they're right. So then that's when I started applying, and I think I just rushed into something because I was like, you're young. Like, I didn't understand what my contract even was. Like, I ended up working overtime, not even getting paid for it. I was on like a flexi contract, didn't read it, didn't know anything about it.
So from that, did you take that stance and that approach to just sort of say like, I do what I want, it's my life? But then even though you was doing that, you was putting yourself in another depressing, unhappy situation without understanding that you could have just said the same approach you took towards working. You could have said, no, I'm studying this. This is what I want to do. But no, you sort of like, which is why we the conversation we've had with Bidds and the other guests as well, and the stories are sort of similar, because it's like running away from what you want to do, what you're running away from the actual problem, and you just sort of like, I'm going to show them I'm boss. I'm going to show them I'm going to do what I want to do. But then you didn't go and do what you genuinely wanted to do. You just avoided it, and then you've got yourself in another position where you ended up being unhappy.
Yeah, definitely. And like I found, so when we come back from holiday, I had like 4 days off work, and obviously I'd already decided that I was going to quit and I was just going to do whatever I wanted to do. And like then I'd come home and I was like literally just lay in bed. I was like, do I even have the balls to tell like my family that I'm just going to quit my job that I've just got? Like I only worked there for like 8 months, but then I was just on the phone and I was crying and I was like, no, I'm doing what I want to do. And like everyone was dead unhappy with me for a bit, but then now people see like I'm succeeding in a different way and they're happy to see that. So, and now like everyone just knows it. I'll just do whatever I want to do.
I literally remember we went Nando's the day after we got back from my business. I walked out and you literally looks like you hadn't slept in like 10 years.
Yeah.
You just looked drained.
Yeah, like honestly though, like for months, it just felt like the life was drained out of me. Like my physical body felt tired from like the mental like strain. Yeah.
Yeah, I can actually relate to the job thing, because I remember like it must have been about 10 years ago, before I actually went into working with kids in care. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I needed money because I needed to pay bills. So I got just a delivery job. I was working for like a delivery firm, and I fucking hated it so much. Like people were like telling me what to do in like a nasty way, in a quite an abrupt way, and I didn't like how they spoke to me. And then like they give me like jobs like miles away, like fucking so far away. I didn't know where I was going anyway. The sat there, I was ready for punch thing. I was ready for punch things, Monty.
I'm telling you, man.
Talking about it now winds me up, man.
That's literally me with my old job.
Really, really does. And then it came to a day where I went in about 6 o'clock in the morning, and the supervisor guy was there, standing by my van with like all these parcels. Started talking to me like utter shit. And I don't know what happened, but something clicked in my head, and I just threw my jacket on the floor, threw the van keys at him, told him fuck off, got in my car, and went home.
I don't blame you.
And I felt so fucking good after that, though.
Honestly,
that's it.
Yes, mate.
I tried it myself as well. Obviously, mine was more seeing my cousin working, obviously, because his mum made him work from a young age.
Yeah.
So he was working and playing football and going to school. And I was playing football and going to school. And I was like, I want to earn some money as well, man. And then I thought I would go and do a cleaning job with my mum helper.
I did a cleaning job, just saying.
I lasted 1 week.
You absolutely love your cleaning job.
Yeah, well, I like to.
I'm telling you, but this cleaning job was hard. I had to wake up at like 3:30, 4 in the morning.
Wow.
I had to then help my mum, obviously, do the job. From there, go to school, and then from there, go to training.
Oh.
Then get back from training, do my homework, go to sleep about 11:30, 12, wake up at 3:30, 4 in the morning, go clean. And I said to my mum, you know what? I'm done with this, man. I'm gonna carry on going to school, focus in school and focus on my football. Because this life is hard, and getting told what to clean, how to clean. After a week, I found a room and I started sleeping in there. It was tough, man. It was tough.
Yeah, that's a bit of a different cleaning job to mine, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it was tough.
I think that like it's underestimated how difficult like unskilled work is. Like people, physically, like mentally, like it sounds daft, but like we work in a restaurant and I find that like more demanding than any other job than I've had, because you have to constantly like speak to people.
You can't even sit down. It's so my
it's so
back
fast.
It's broken, honestly.
Paced. So I do think that it's underestimated. Like people just think, oh well, they're just a cleaner, they're just a waitress. Like
hard, man.
Yeah,
them jobs are hard, man. Those people are underappreciated.
Yeah, 100%.
Telling you, I don't care what anyone says, but those people that do all them type of jobs are underappreciated. Then I'm grateful I went through that experience, because it's sort of like molding the mindset into what I wanted to do from a young age. It's either that or this. You choose. One would basically, you can wake up, go work for someone, which is there's nothing wrong with it, and get paid, or be disciplined, make sacrifices, miss opportunities with like the nights out, friends and that, and then you'll eventually be rewarded in a certain way. And yeah, man.
See, I think like with my old job, I literally hated it, and I hated that time in my life, but I'm so grateful for it, because like it taught me exactly what I want in life and what I don't want in life. It taught me like self-discipline. It taught me like to stand up for myself and what I want. So we always say like to take take the positives even out of negatives, and like I'm grateful that happened, and I wouldn't change what happened now.
You never fail.
You just win.
Or you learn. We live by that.
Yeah.
Don't we?
What about you?
Oh no.
Well, what about you?
I can't like talk in a sequence. I'll just go from here to that, to that, to that, to that, to that.
You know, our podcast, Bidds will tell you, is as random as you like, but talk about your journey in a way where when you feel low, how you overcame that to become the person you are now. Studying what you're doing. And
so I feel like, firstly, my brother was ill when I was quite young, and he was young. How old was I as well? I think he was like 11 or something, and he got a brain tumour. So he was in Liverpool Hospital at Alderhay, and my mum had to like live there with him for ages, so I had to move in with my nan. So then that was a bit like unsettling for me, and obviously a bit scary. And then I feel like I just started to like suppress my emotions at that point, because I was like, it should be about my brother, not me. So, and my mum was obviously very like stressed and depressed, and she was doing a degree at that time as well, a law degree. So I just felt like I had to like, I don't know, not like say anything or like tell anyone how I was feeling. So that happened, and then I feel like when I'm at my ex-situationship thing, not a relationship, that is when it went downhill into it, really.
Yeah, he was not very nice.
So I met him when I was in year 11.
Did hate this conversation, sorry. This is gonna probably butt in after you finish. Okay. Carry on.
That's okay. So I met him in high school when I was in year 11, like just before I left. And he was 6 years older than me. And that was a red flag, but I didn't realise at this time, because I was very like, what's the word, impressionable.
Yeah, but I think you've been through a lot as well, so like the attention was...
People would say I have daddy issues because I don't have a male figure in my life, apart from my granddad and my brother, who I absolutely adore. But anyway, I don't have like a dad figure. I never have. So now looking back, I think I just clinged on to like that kind of figure, which was bad because it wasn't a good situation. And he had another girlfriend the entire time, and I was only 16. And but instead of leaving, I just stayed with him for 2 years, because I was like, I'd rather be with this person than be on my own. And I think that was very damaging to me. And like, even though I knew he had another girlfriend, and he was like, oh yeah, she's gone now, I knew she wasn't gone, but I still stayed there. And like, I think he literally knocked every bit of confidence out of me, to the point where I was literally didn't even know who I was anymore, did I?
No, and like, you've always been anxious, but I think that the anxiety of always wondering like what he's doing, where he is, why is he not replying, like
he wouldn't reply for 3 weeks, like 3 weeks,
like
no help, like nothing.
She's like, oh, he hasn't been on his phone. But then like, as a friend, I don't know, like I can't tell you
No.
Do you know what I mean? You have to realise it for yourself.
Yeah. So then that happened for like 2 years, and then it was on New Year's Eve 2000. The 31st of December 2017, and then he pushed me down the stairs in the sugar mill, and then at that point something clicked in my brain. I was like, goodbye. So then someone like threw him out or something, and then his mum messaged me saying like, you're the issue and all this stuff. Bear in mind his mum knew about both girlfriends. How bad is that? But yeah, and at that point something just clicked in my brain. I was like, what am I actually doing? Like, what am I doing? Like, I think it caused me to fail my A levels, to be honest, because I was just so consumed in this relationship situationship that I didn't even know what I was doing anymore. And then I said to Sinead, I was like, I'm just gonna leave him. And then I left him, and then he did the little crying puppy thing where they run back. He literally stood outside my house.
No, he fucking did not.
No, he did. He stood outside my house, and Sinead had to go out, bearing in mind she lives next door, obviously. And she was like, leave. And then what did he say to you?
He was like, I'll walk straight through you. I'll push you out there. I'll walk in the house. I was like, go for it. I would love to see you try, because Keisha's mum is like a bad bitch. I was like, you will get kicked out.
So yeah, I think that was a massive like point in my life where I was like, what is going on? And then after that, I just decided I found myself again.
Yeah. And I think that like you still like suffer though, like the anxiety and like stuff like I think the effect that it had on your mindset. Like, obviously, you're a very positive person, but, like, you do struggle with, like, anxiety, don't you?
Yeah. My day would be ruined at 7 o'clock in the morning at my cleaning job. My day would be ruined already by that boy.
I'm so glad, though, that you left after that first incident that I pushed you down the stairs.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many women out there that just stick around for so long and just keep getting fucking beaten and harassed and mentally fucked. And I fucking hate this fucking subject. It's the fucking worst. Monty says, fucking, I just don't understand why people think it's right that they can lay fingers on or anything on anyone.
Yeah.
Especially men. Obviously, men. I know there's been a lot of domestic abuse over the past as well. It's fucking at a rise over the past year with the pandemic. And every time it just boils my fucking blood, because it's happened within my family. So the subject is like one of them where as soon as someone mentions about getting abused by someone in a domestic way, fucking like just rage, instant fucking rage. So like for you to be so young and have that strength to just say no after that first incident, that's fucking amazing. Because you get a lot of women that do just stay because they're scared of leaving.
Yeah.
He had like very bad mental health problems himself, didn't he? And I feel like he used to say that was the reason like he was how he was, but then
that doesn't justify it.
No, I used to be like, okay, didn't I literally say to me, I was like, oh yeah, he's just struggling, like it's fine, like he's just struggling with his mental health, but he just used that as an excuse because there's no need to treat like me like that just because.
Did you know at that age that he was struggling with?
Yeah, the whole time, like he's a damaged boy.
Yeah, he's got his own problems, but you can't like put that onto someone else.
I don't think.
No. I'm not saying this.
Oh no, I know.
Like it was
You're
just
saying that.
At the age of 16, you're very like impressionable, and that was my first ever like boyfriend. That I wouldn't call a boyfriend now, but like I didn't know what to expect. Like I didn't know what was right and what was wrong, and I thought I was just older. And like for the whole relationship, he was like, "No, you can't tell anyone about." It was like if anyone finds out like you're in trouble, like you can't tell anyone. Like I was a secret. And I thought that was just because of the age thing, but it's actually because he had another girlfriend the whole time. So yeah.
How did you?
Dick.
Do you want to know how I found out?
No. I'm saying like you went through all of that.
Go on.
So then obviously you suffered with your anxiety and all your stuff, and how did you sort of bounce back after that? Like what gave you sort of like the energy and
this thing, this human. I'm not even joking.
No, we both pulled each other through at the same time.
I still now can't really. I wouldn't say I can't do things like you, but
No.
I struggle a lot more doing things when Need isn't there. Like, I thought over the pandemic, like my anxiety was at a bay, but I realised when I could go out again, it was because I hadn't been in the situation for it to actually be bad. So when I went out like 2 weeks ago, I literally sat in the car. I was like, I can't get out of the car because you weren't there where you were.
You were just texting me.
And I was like, okay. But I think once you start pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, like once you do one thing, I always say like it comes to you naturally, and you start being able to do more things. But I think like it was one point it was so bad. Like I used to walk up the road to the bus station and I couldn't cross the road because I didn't want to make eye contact with the driver, so I just walked back home. Do you remember?
Yeah, I was on holiday one year and she rang me and she was like, I'm walking to so-and-so's house where I left. She's like, I can't cross the road. She's like, I was in Tenerife and she was literally ringing me like, I was like, and I don't know, like, as someone that's supporting someone, yeah, like, you just have to understand that, like, you maybe have never experienced that, but, like, this person is going through that, and I used to sit on the phone to her and talk to her, and, like, I'd literally get it up on my maps and be like, right, just walk back down this way, and then, like, there's a safe place, like, across you, or, like, do you know what I mean? Anything, or even when you're in the shop, weren't you, like,
yeah,
you thought that you couldn't go in without buying something. You know, but it's not stupid though.
I think they're gonna think I'm stealing something.
No.
It's not stupid though, because I think a lot of people like struggle with things like that because it's like social anxiety, isn't it?
Yeah.
Was you like that just because of your experience with your ex, or
I literally don't know. I don't think I even
or
realised.
was it like a build up from your seeing what's happened with your brother?
I think so.
I think with someone like that.
I feared at the time that obviously he was going to die because, like, you just do think that because he had that cancer and no brain tumor. And I was like, oh my god, he's going to die. But he didn't die. He's still here. But anyway, and then I think I just like feared everything. I was just like scared. And then at school, I didn't like, I don't know, I was just a bit of a lone ranger, I'd say. Like, I just floated around. I didn't really have my set friends. So, I don't know. It was just a bit weird. But do you want to know how I found out he cheated on me? Well,
yes, we do. Monty brought you in, didn't he? He went for it, didn't you, bro?
I was telling you the tea. So,
you wanna throw his name out there as well?
Absolutely not. No, we can't do that.
No, I'm joking.
She was considering it. She was like, throw him under the box.
The train. But yeah, basically, his girlfriend followed my friend on Instagram. So my friend was like, oh, who's this? Clicked on it. And then she sent me a picture of them two in Amsterdam because he said he was going to Amsterdam with the boys. Yeah, with the boys. And then she was like, why is this girl with your boyfriend? I was like, why is that girl with my boyfriend? So then I was ringing him. Obviously, he didn't answer because he didn't answer like for about 5 to 7 working days. And then like I messaged the girl. I was like, why are you with my boyfriend? She was like, that's my boyfriend. I was like, no, it's not. And she's like, what happened? She was like, I've been with him for 1.5 years. I was like, well, I've been with him for a year. So obviously she had the upper hand on me, but yeah. And he was like, I've left her. And then he never left her. And now he's with her, still living with her. So yeah.
No way. She's still with him after all that.
Yeah.
Wow. Stupid lady.
I know.
That is the tea on that.
That is the tea. Crazy.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow.
And now I would not stand for that. Like
some guys, yeah, they do the most, and the things they get away with, man, like it's crazy. And they not even get away with, like, what goes through their head, like, to do when you're
Montana, you just wanted the best of it.
Especially when you're established and you're in a good relationship to an extent that you've been in so long, and do certain things and play to people like that for that long as well. That's just crazy, man.
That was a bit crazy.
No wonder it's taking so long to reply. He had a lot going on.
Yeah,
I was working on his case, man. He was working on it. He's working on a long case, boy. He's working on his defense. In 5 days to reply, you know.
And once she literally left, as I was like going, like cross pumps.
Talking about cases in defense, you're studying, is it criminal justice?
Yeah.
See how things flow here, mate.
Oh, it just picks up like that.
Yeah. So yeah, we do the same degree because obviously.
Yes.
They are the same.
You are a year below because you had your
mental breakdown.
Quarter life crisis.
My quarter life crisis did take place in that year, so I am 1 year behind, but
That's fine. Catch up.
The struggles since the pandemic, no joke. Oh my god, it has been tough in life.
It's been really tough.
Like, the support is non-existent.
We had more support than actually in university.
Yeah.
When you don't need it.
Yeah. Like,
Wow.
I've just got my dissertation, which is like the big part, and I've literally got the lowest mark in the whole 3 years I've ever got. So that literally this week made me.
It threw you.
Yeah.
It like
I literally was like, "What's the point?" I was like, "I'm not going to do the others," and then they just like, "Yes, you are," and now I am. But still, like, it just, I don't know, it makes you feel thick. Like,
Yeah.
I literally had COVID and I got like 92, 94%, and then I got in my dissertation, which is supposed to be like the biggest piece that you're supposed to do like the best in. I've done the worst that I've ever done. And I was like, what is the point?
But you can still get a face, so I said like there's no point in
throwing it away.
Yeah, you're gonna chuck everything away because you've had one bad grade when you can still what you wanted to achieve with one setback.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's true, man. That's one of the things that we struggle with as humans. Like you just said, like feel like throwing it away because I look or feel like I'm thick. Immediately that self-talk would just drag you with it. It's easier to actually be negative about a situation than positive. But from that negative experience that you encountered, I think you just bounce back from it.
Yeah.
One mark, you learn from it. You could actually just sit down and reflect on what led you to get those marks. What was you doing? What wasn't you doing to get the marks that you expected and give yourself? And then bounce back, because that's the positive thing about setbacks. It gives you room to like analyze your whole end product of what you've been through, of what you've done.
I think like you compare yourself to everyone else, because everyone's putting in like the group chat, oh well, I got 80-something%, I got like whatever, and I was just like, oh my god, that I actually have done the worst. And I don't know. All my confidence literally just came out of my body, and I was like, what am I doing?
Those things don't matter. Like we've had conversations about like grades, about schools, about things like that. Obviously, it's good to be disciplined. It's good to get good grades and things like that. But at the end of the day, you could be obviously not putting a damper on anything, but you could be studying what you're studying right now. You could get the best grades, and you might not even end up working on a department that requires the things that you've done in university. You could end up doing something completely different that's even better than what you studied. Like my missus, for example, prime example, my missus, she's never been to uni. And she's worked in law firms, like higher ranks. She's worked in finances, she's worked in everything. It's just about your approach to life and about what you believe in yourself. Like your friends could be getting A stars or whatever grades they are, whatever they call them, and you could be getting the lowest. You could end the year or your uni years being at the lowest of the marks. But then if your character, that will actually follow you through and then will get you to achieve what you want to achieve, if that makes sense.
I haven't even told my nan because I'm embarrassed. I feel like I've let her down.
What do you think, Bidds?
Oh.
What about grades?
Yeah.
Well, you can go again, can't you?
Yeah.
True.
It's like I was so shit in school. I was so shit, like really bad. I've literally, I don't know how many GCSEs I've got. Probably about 3. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I didn't care about education. But my sister, she did criminology at Liverpool University, and I remember the stress that she was under. I think she was there for 3 years. I think.
Yeah.
The stress that she was under, like for get the marks that she needed, it was like wow, like this. I remember going down, like just to visit, like, and the work books in the room were just everywhere. It's just like a paper room. So I was like, wow. And I think the more dedication that she put in it, the better she got. But she started she had a routine. She never did it like bang, bang, bang all the time. She always made sure she had them like breaks.
Yeah.
Like, so she said like some days she'd spend like 2 days just not doing anything. And then she'd come back to it and like it'd be like fresh again.
Yeah.
And I think if you do get yourself in that these muddles in life, it's like if I've got a stressful job at work, it's all about just stepping yourself back a bit. Because I find if I'm in a stressful situation and I instantly jump into it, that's when I'm going to fuck up. Because I'm not in the right mindset. So like stepping back and just taking that time to just reflect on even the simple shit. Just simple, just making things a bit more simple for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that like you got to see as well though, like you wrote your dissertation and I proofread it and it told us exactly what we want to do together in life out of that, like,
yeah,
and the work that we like are passionate to do because you studied it and then I basically read your study and
and you learned from that then.
Exactly. So like
I did it on gang violence, basically on why people join gangs.
Yeah, and like how adverse childhood experiences impact like on the probability of you joining a gang and why people join it.
Yeah. Have you heard of the local charity around here called Rough and Ruby?
Yeah, they've got a shop in Hanley, haven't they?
Yeah.
I
went to a meeting there. I got invited to a meeting. I think it was last week. And I met the people that run it, and like the stuff that they're doing there is amazing. Like really good, and they had like some really interesting speakers there. Like it was so emotional, so emotional, like ridiculous. Like I thought, oh, just go to a meeting, have a nice chat, and bit of a mingle. No, it was full on, hit you in the face with every emotion possible, and it was all about gang violence and mental health, suicide. It was just wow. So I'm going to be doing a bit of work with them. They want me to get involved in them. I think it'd be good for you to link up with Debbie. She runs it all, but I'll be able to sort that out if you wanted to have a nice link up with them, because it's all about knife crime and gangs around the local area. They've set up a campaign called Lex. It's basically life experiences, and it's to basically go out and help these youth and stop them from getting involved with these gangs and stuff. So I think that'd be awesome for you to
that's
get involved in.
Isn't it?
Like, I think especially in Stoke, people just think it's non-existent, but
it definitely is.
Yeah, there was actually 2 stabbings in Newcastle last week, wasn't there?
Yeah, exactly. Like we've just realised like the importance of helping children before they get to the point of like prevention rather than like cure after whatever's happened.
And like all these children's like secure estates and training centres and stuff, sometimes I don't think they offer the right like rehabilitation. It's more like into it.
We're very big believers in like rehabilitation over punishing someone. Like whatever providers, like the punishment should be part of like rehabilitation.
But no, the work that they do is like so inspiring, like proper open my eyes. So I don't know if you've been to the shop. There's 2 floors.
I have seen it. I think it's been closed since I've been
there. I haven't been in, but I have seen.
But say whenever it opens again, like get down there, because they've got an upstairs where like the offices are, and downstairs they've got like a shop that sell like cakes and clothes, and they like out men bikes, and they've got like a little game station where people like kids can go, and that's amazing what they've set up down there. Amazing.
It makes such a big difference though, especially in Stoke, because I just don't think there's enough to like facilities and people there to help like young people that are struggling. I don't even think that people notice it in like schools or anything to push them to someone for support.
So I did it last week, right? I put like a motivational video on. And I've got a lot of response from it. Like I must have sent the link out to about 20, 30 people because they're messaging me saying, what's the link to that video? So I've got another one that we can end on.
Okay.
So Monty, before we end, my brother, I just want to give a big mention to Colombia, to the Colombian people, because there's a lot of fucking nasty shit going on over there at the moment.
Indeed, man.
So much fucking corruption, and they fucking getting away with murder on the streets, basically. And it's all over tax, because they're taxing. Is it they're taxing the working class, but not the rich? Is that right?
Basically, yeah. Basically. So what they've done, so I put it this way, say like they're upping all the VAT,
Yeah.
right? On like the water bills, on even just essentials like such as one egg.
Yeah.
That a lot of families out there can't get. That's like what we do here, where we can get like the whole either 6 pack of eggs or like the 12 or 24 and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of families can't afford to do that. So a lot of families they live day by day, maybe just egg and rice. That's like a lot of families would eat to survive. Yeah. And one egg could be worth, before the whole reform thing started, one egg was worth say like £1 for these families, but now it's gonna be worth £5.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So the middle class and the working class and the like underprivileged families have got together and just started obviously saying that can't happen because they won't survive.
Yeah.
And the reason why they're trying to do that is to take money from these people that don't even earn a lot. Like the average wage for these people, the most is $250 a month.
Fuck.
And then plus that, and obviously rent could be $150.
Yeah.
And then the other $100 obviously to eat and pay bills as well.
So saying that
And it's
at least 24 people, including police officers, have died since the start of the protest.
It's just sad, man, and it's heartbreaking because they're trying to do that to fill their own pockets.
Yeah.
Up there.
Yeah.
And Colombia's not, like, we spoke about Colombia before.
Yeah.
Where it's a beautiful country. It's got its histories for what's happened in the past, and the people in Colombia will never do anything bad to you. If they don't know you, they'll look after you. Like you can see the protest, they've not broken into no shop. They've just walked the streets and like letting themselves be heard.
Yeah.
And they see police officers threatening civilians to go kill civilians to then act as if they're killing each other. It's heartbreaking. And when I spoke to my mum, when it all started, they couldn't even get food because they weren't letting food trucks and things like that go into the little towns to do the normal deliveries to the supermarkets and things like that. So they had people basically near enough starving. Certain people will be walking the streets, even if that had nothing to do with it. One of my cousin's ex-missus, my cousin ex-missus cousin, basically, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's being basically put in a coma by the police.
Wow. Fucking hell.
For just trying to be heard and not doing anything wrong. And it's just sad, heartbreaking. Like I'm working on something with a few friends who obviously play in the Premier League, and trying to see what we can put together to try and help. But it's never gonna be the end of it.
No.
Because the thing is, Colombia's always been one of them countries. It's beautiful and that, but proper the cane people, they do some fucked up shit that's never been seen before. But the only way it's come out is because of the pandemic, and they needed to make up something to cover themselves and take from the working class. And now everyone's starting to see how corrupt, even their own country, we were blind to it. And it just hurts, man. It hurts. I wish I could say more, but it's just like heartbreaking, man.
Yeah, it
See
is.
people dying for no reason, to see people taking their stuff away for no reason, to see family suffering. Like, I'm lucky because my mom, where I'm from, from a little town, so we've not been affected as much. But then, well, I've got family members in other cities and that, like what I've been hearing and being sent, I'm just like, because of what I do as well. If I repost certain things, if I post certain things on social media, that kids are following me as well. It like I take a lot into consideration, which is why I'll send you guys like things by DM so you can try and help reposting. If it's just sad, man.
It is indeed, mate, and hopefully it can all get sorted out. I mean, when and how?
Not, boy. We're getting our water guns and we're heading to Colombia.
Let's go.
Mate, I'll
Understand all that fire.
get my super soaker out, mate.
Hey, we'll go in there, get all the water slides and that, man. Come on, man. Let's just have fun, man. Let's be happy.
Yes. So where can people find your podcast?
Spotify or Apple Podcasts, not Apple Music, because we don't know how to do that yet.
Didn't we?
Yeah.
Cool. No YouTube channel yet, then?
Wow, we're in the process, but you know, having the car as a studio is a bit sticky. I won't lie.
Mm-hmm.
That's working, though.
It's different, you know.
It can work, but it's different.
Yeah.
But you have a few fire engines, ambulances, police cars.
Yeah, but you could take your studio anywhere you wanted.
True, but we haven't got the Wi-Fi.
Right now.
Yeah, true.
I'm about limited data, you see.
Get a dongle.
Dongle.
Isn't that a Wi-Fi stick thing?
Is it?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
No,
A dongle.
I know these things.
a dongle.
Dongle.
Yeah, so anyone listening, viewing, make sure you head over to the POSITIVITEA. TEA.
One thing before we go. Also, for the listeners, viewers, if you guys could give them an advice on what to do when they are stuck in a certain situation, where they're getting forced to do something, or you want to do something else, what would you advise them to do? Based on your experience.
Remind yourself that you never fail. You either win or you learn from it. So, and you're not going to be stuck in that situation forever. I think we've been at points where we thought this is never going to end, but now you just need to think that this won't be my life in that maybe a month, maybe even less, maybe even more. But it's not going to be that your life ever. So,
and if you do make a decision that makes other people unhappy around you, then their unhappiness soon fades because that's not their life. And it doesn't consume them, but it'll consume you to do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing. That's a T on that one.
That is a T.
That's a T.
So we're going to end on this motivational speech video. I'm going to dedicate this to the Colombian people, bro. I think we'll give them a bit of a boost. So I want to thank everyone for listening, watching. That's all you can really do. You've got eyes and ears, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I want to thank you for coming on. It's been awesome. I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And keep poddying, keep doing it.
Keep plodding with the poddy.
We will.
Plodding with the poddy, yes. Hashtag plodding with the poddy. But anyway, thank you for listening, watching. Oh, have a good day, you beautiful human beings.
Stay positive.
Stay positive.
Life can throw you some curves. And it's not just the things that you see coming, but sometimes it's the things that you didn't see coming that hit you out of nowhere, that set you back in such a way that it seems like you can't get over. And you've reached your limit and your bandwidth is full. You already said, I can't take another thing, and then out of nowhere, here comes something you didn't see coming, and you're in it.
And in your homes, somewhere in your heart, these words are echoing. Am I going to make it?
When you get into a tight spot and everything goes against you until it seems that you cannot hold on for a minute longer, never give up then, for that is just the place and time that the tide will turn. There are times when your energy feels so depleted that you want to give up, that it looks just totally impossible. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, don't give up then. That's when you've got to fall forward, when life is kicking dirt in your face. Don't give up then. That's when most people turn back.
As long as you're alive, there is hope.
You're still alive. You're still here.
It's never too late, and it's never too dark, and we can always turn things around.
There's going to be bad days, there's going to be dark days, but you got to embrace it, because that pain is what makes you stronger.
Pain is the high cost of growth. If you want to grow up, you want to be mature, there is no way to do it without pain. You can't grow up on easy street. And the very thing that discourages you is the very thing that develops you.
No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to save you. The only person that's going to make a drastic change in your life, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the only person that is going to dig you out of your hole is who? You. You have to do it for you.
You've got to become courageous to stand up within yourself, to face it and step forward.
We all get a taste of that victim mentality, the why me? You can become the victim of the situation or the victor of the situation. You need to be the master of your emotions, not let them affect you. You are the dictator. You are the captain of your boat, whether you let things affect you in a negative way or a positive way. I don't lose. I only win or learn. In life, there's only winning or learning. All your problems become gifts once you learn from them.
And some of you have allowed adversity to make you stop. And I'm telling you right now, don't give up. I'm telling you right now, don't give in. Get through it. Execute, execute, execute. In the midst of adversity, execute. You're going to work through this. You're going to get up. You're going to get dressed. You're going to get out. And you're going to do what you've been called to do. You're going to be what you called to be. And you're going to prove to everybody that tried to break you, everybody that tried to kill your dream, you're going to prove all of them wrong. And if you can work through your pain, I'm guaranteeing you, on the other side is a reward. Pain is not permanent. Pain is temporary.